El retraso horrible en el conteo de los votos en el estado de California genera una discusión tremenda. Ya no es únicamente en el nivel de la candidatura para conformar un proceso electoral, para escoger un gobernador. Esto llega también a nivel de las ciudades. O sea, ya no tienes a quién culpar por la gran población del estado. También a nivel de una ciudad se hace prácticamente imposible. Pasa una semana y usted todavía no sabe quiénes son las personas que van a ir a la boleta para escoger a un alcalde de pueblo, no al gobernador del estado, a un alcalde de pueblo. El candidato a gobernador de California, Steve Hilton, ha salido a opinar acerca del tema del retraso de los votos. Ha criticado duramente la incompetencia de los demócratas. ¿Por qué? Porque la mayoría de los incumbentes en torno a todas estas oficinas del control y la gestión electoral en el estado de California son representantes del Partido Demócrata. Así lo cuenta Evidencia.
Well, it'd be lovely if someone could explain how the process works, because to most people it seems completely insane. Yes, still counting ballots. There's two things going on here. You've got the late arriving mail ballots. You're allowed to vote by mail, and as long as you post it by election day, they count it up to 7 days after election day. That's next Tuesday, so that's one category. But the bigger category is the fact that you've got still millions of ballots in these vote centers that are sitting there right now in boxes not being counted because the people in charge have no energy, no pride in getting this done quickly. It's typical of California under Democrat rule. They can't build a bridge, they can't clear the homelessness, they can't run an election properly. Last week, I actually put forward a plan to try and accelerate this process by surging people to these vote centers to get a quick result. But look, the most important thing is that actually we're very confident now that we'll be in the top two. There's not really any realistic possibility for the billionaire climate fanatic Tom Steyer to catch up. That means that in November, Californians will have a real choice. Another 4 years of this insanity that's given us the highest cost of living in the country and all the other problems we see, or a new direction towards common sense, lower taxes, cutting the bloat in our government. That's what I'm offering, and we're going to be able to present that choice to voters now in November. We're very confident of that.
And you've told me before, you've spoken with lots of people, families, business owners, and one of the issues here is the late votes statewide are including votes from some of those big counties where you've spoken with people like Orange County and San Diego County and Fresno County. What are you hearing from voters?
Above everything else, it's just the sheer struggle of living in California under these Democrat policies. The cost of living, the hassle, if you run a small business, just the endless bureaucracy, the fees, the permits, the hassle, the nonsense. On top of that, the energy costs, the highest gas prices in the country, electric bills that are more than double the national average. On and on it goes, because you've got, it's 16 years now. You've had Democrats running everything in California, all the statewide offices, the legislature with a 2/3 majority in both chambers, every big city, every big county, the state Supreme Court with a 6-1 majority. They've had 16 years to show that their ideas work, and the result is a disaster. And that's why people are leaving. Housing costs, the highest in the country. It's the #1 reason people are leaving California. We all know what a beautiful, amazing state California is. You've got to work really hard to drive people out, but that's what they've been doing with these policies. That's why we need a change.
El diagnóstico es cruel. El costo de la vivienda más alto a nivel de país está en California. No sé si sabías que en California la gente paga el doble, a veces el triple, de lo que paga cualquier persona a nivel de los Estados Unidos por el consumo de la electricidad. No sé si sabías que la Corte Suprema Estatal de California tiene un maravilloso balance de 6-1. O sea, 6 demócratas contra un republicano. Es muy difícil. ¿Qué han hecho en estos 16 años al frente de prácticamente todo el sistema institucional en California? Muy poco. Han generado un estado muy desigual del que la gente se está yendo en masa. Hilton habló sobre el tema del conteo de los votos, sobre por qué esta demora excesiva. Evidencia.
It's at least $2, sometimes more. I mean, that price I saw yesterday, $7.89. That's way higher than the rest of the country. And I'll give you another example. The vice president, who endorsed me as well on election day, which I was honored to have J.D. Vance's endorsement, his fraud task force looking for ways to cut the fraud in our bloated budgets in California. They've doubled the budget in the last 10 years. So much of it is fraud. The governor here and his team are fighting that, are resisting that. I'm going to work with the president and the vice president on the fraud task force to reduce the fraud so we can cut taxes. My tax plan starts with your first 100 grand tax-free to help working people in California. All these positive, practical things can happen if we have a governor that works with the federal government to make common sense change happen.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because you do a brushstroke look at California sometimes, and people just assume it's all Democrats and, you know, liberal and in some cases extreme liberal policies. But, you know, Spencer Pratt was with me recently and he told me, look, you know who's backing me? Democrats and independents. So have you seen that as well, Stephen? What is your take on the LA race as well with Spencer Pratt?
Very much, and especially in LA, I have to say. I mean, we did an event the other week, I should say, in Los Angeles. We had, must have been about 200 people. Pretty much all of them were Democrats supporting my campaign. We're seeing it up and down the state because we've got to a point now where I would say it's a breaking point in California. We cannot go on like this. People understand that. Businesses are leaving, people are leaving. The situation is really dire. In terms of the LA mayor's race, I'm hoping so much. I supported Spencer from day one. I was with him when he announced his candidacy in the Palisades. We both spoke at that one-year anniversary event for the fires. I'm hoping so much he makes it because we've got to have change in Los Angeles. You've got a totally incompetent mayor, Karen Bass. You've got an extremist as the other choice, Nithya Raman. We've got the Olympics coming just in 2 years. We've got to really clean up LA and make sure we can show the world a fantastic city and state. And if we have the Democrats in charge that we've got now in Los Angeles, that's a disaster. We've got to have change in Los Angeles too.
No se apuren, falta mucho para saber cuándo se va a obtener de una manera concreta, rápida, el resultado de una elección, aunque sea de una, en el estado de California.